Hello and welcome to the podcast. On today's show, Frasier is back in the building. Sequel series greenlit at Paramount Plus. Top Gear travel to Thailand for latest BBC special, and Richard Hammond denies multiple Grand Tour crashes are scripted in Candid interview. All this and more is to come on today's show. First up, Frasier is back in the building. Sequel series greenlit at Paramount Plus. Streaming service going ahead with 10 episodes, with Kelsey Grammer reprising his role as Frasier Crane, but other original cast members still remain unconfirmed. Tossed salad and scrambled eggs are back on the menu with a glass of sherry, of course. The much anticipated Frasier sequel is officially greenlit for a series. One of television's most successful sitcoms, Frasier, ran for 263 episodes between 1993 and 2004, winning 37 Emmy Awards. When it was announced in February of last year that a sequel was in development, it was revealed that Kelsey Grammer would be returning to the title role and serve as executive producer. On Wednesday, Deadline reported that a single series had been officially greenlit by US streaming service Paramount Plus with an unconfirmed 10 episodes. The new series will see the psychiatrist turned radio host Frasier Crane beginning the next phase of his life in a new city, having left Seattle where Frasier was set. The final episode of the original series saw Frasier Crane give up a promising new job in San Francisco and move to Chicago instead, where his girlfriend Charlotte, played by Laura Linney, had just relocated. The rest of the cast will reportedly feature mostly new characters. Members of the original cast, David Hyde Pierce's Niles, Jane Levy's Daphne, and Perry Gilpin's Roz, aren't expected to be regulars, though they could make guest appearances. John Mahoney, who played Frasier and Niles's father Martin, died in 2018. Moose the dog, who played Eddie, Martin's pet Jack Russell, died in 2006. Earlier this year, Hyde Pierce, who played Frasier's brother Niles, told The Guardian he had not yet heard many details about the sequel. It's happening, but I don't know in what form, and I don't know when, so I don't know where I'll be and what I'll be doing. I'm certainly interested to see what they come up with, he said. Levy's, who suggested she will not be part of the revival, telling Entertainment Weekly that she was committed to her role in medical drama, The Resident. I have no idea, but I won't be leaving The Resident to do that if it happens, she said of a revival. Grammer has enthusiastically pursued a sequel for years. In an ITV interview 3 years ago, he proposed that an older Frasier Crane could be a professor or back in private psychiatry practice. He also suggested the story would be something that puts him at odds with his brother again, and explore his relationship with his now adult son, Frederick. In July, Grammer confirmed that they were in the final stages of the final script for the first episode for the sequel series, adding, "I've had a couple of runs through it, and I cried. I'm happy." And that's it for the Frasier reboot. That's the latest news on it anyway. Frasier is back in the building. Tossed salad and scrambled eggs are back on the menu. Frasier Crane is coming back to Paramount Plus. More next. And now, Top Gear travel to Thailand for latest BBC special. The Top Gear team of Paddy McGuinness, Freddie Flintoff, and Chris Harris will travel to Thailand for the latest special to hit BBC motor show Top Gear, which returns later this year. The presenters travelled out to Thailand. However, Flintoff will not be part of the special after contacting COVID-19 and being forced to isolate for the entire filming block. A Top Gear spokesperson told The Sun, "Freddie, Chris, and Paddy recently returned from filming a big Thai adventure. Viewers will see them racing cars, pickup trucks, drifting in Bangkok, and helping a local community deliver some important building materials to a very remote temple." A source told The Sun he was so excited about filming and ended up looking locked inside his hotel room. His absence will be mentioned when the show comes out later this year. Freddie took it in all in good humour, but Paddy and Chris are going to be ribbing him about this for a long time to come. Highlights from the latest Top Gear series include the trio heading to America on a motorsport mission to the home of grassroots racing, Florida, a TV cop tribute, as well as some suggestions for new cop cars that drama producers might like to consider. Plus, the presenters going head-to-head in a heavy-duty challenge as they train to become HGV drivers. Plus, reviews with the Maserati MC20, Rivian R1T, and more. Top Gear returns later this year on BBC One. Previous series are now available on BBC iPlayer. Top Gear is a BBC Studios factual entertainment production for BBC One. And we also have some other news relating to Doctor Who. Date and time revealed for the Power of the Doctor special. The BBC has confirmed that Doctor Who's feature-length centenary special, The Power of the Doctor, will air on BBC One and BBC iPlayer on the 23rd of October at 7:30 UK time, it has been revealed. This episode is the last of 3 specials that aired this year and will mark Jodie Whittaker's final adventure as the 13th Doctor. The official synopsis, trailer, and all new images are below. The action-packed adventure in space and time for all the family, starring Jodie Whittaker, Mandip Gill, John Bishop, Sophie Aldred, Janice Fielding, and Sacha Dhawan. In this feature-length special to mark her last adventure, Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor must fight for her very existence against her deadliest enemies, the Daleks, Cybermen, and her arch nemesis, the Master. Who is attacking a speeding bullet train on the edges of a distant galaxy? Why are the seismologists going missing from the 21st century Earth? Who is defacing some of history's most iconic paintings? Why is a Dalek trying to make contact with the Doctor? And just what hold does the mesmeric Rasputin have over Tsar Nicholas in 1916 Russia? The Doctor faces multiple threats and a battle to the death. Written by Chris Chibnall and directed by Jamie Magnus Stone, the feature-length special will air on BBC as part of the BBC's celebration special. As part of the BBC's centenary celebrations. Doctor Who: The Power of the Doctor airs the 23rd of October at 7:30 on BBC One. All this and more, or more next, after this. And finally, Richard Hammond denies multiple Grand Tour crashes are scripted in Candid interview. This from GrandTourNation.com. Richard Hammond has spoken out about his recent crashes on the Grand Tour and Top Gear, as well as his co-hosts Jeremy Clarkson and James May. The latest episode, the Grand Tour a Scandi Flick, showed the trio racing around Norway in 3 rally-inspired road cars, and one of the main talking points of the show was May's horrendous crash, which left him hospitalised with a broken rib. There have been many jokes between the trio and also fans around the fact that it is usually Hammond who has the awful crashes on the shows. The most well-known crash was back in 2006 when Hammond crashed a jet-powered car whilst travelling at 320 miles per hour. Hammond was airlifted to hospital and suffered a serious brain injury. Hammond was also asked recently if he has ever turned down any stunts on the shows. He explained, "No, I don't think we have ever done that, ever. There were never stunts that went wrong. I mean, driving at 320 miles per hour brings risks, but nobody knew the tire was going to go and fall off a mountain. That didn't go down well. So they haven't been deliberate stunts that have gone wrong. They were just accidents, and they happen, don't they? So you've just got to hope they don't." Hammond went on to explain that they do put some things in during the planning stages of the shows. However, so much happens spontaneously and by chance that a lot of the planned parts don't end up making the show, he added. He said, "If you think about it, if you go off on holiday with your mates, is enough going to happen to fill a 90-minute show? Probably not. And it's the same with us. Although because we are weird and lucky, it does. It's like when we did the Grand Tour Scotland special. Jeremy's caravan came unhinged and I sank a fishing boat. None of those were planned. They just happened. We go away and have the best adventure in the world, but if nobody is there to film it, what's the point?" And that's just about it for this week's show. I'll be back in a few weeks' time with more. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you again very soon. Don't forget to follow the podcast on social platforms such as Spotify, Anchor, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and more. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.